inside my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in the cradles, profanities. I see the world through ice covered in ink and bleach. Cross out the ones who heard my cries and watched me weep. I love that.
All right, Vetters, we are live. We are in the house, and it's going to be a great live stream today. I know we're coming off an epic live stream from yesterday, but I promise you we're bringing the goods today, too. In the house, we've got Mr. John Stewart. Welcome, my man.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for having me. Hi, all you betters. Appreciate you showing up today and listening to an old guy talk.
Yeah.
Always a pleasure. I'm the old
guys.
guy, by the way. Yeah.
Two old guys. Oh, no, I'm old, too. Yes, this is going to be great, man. So excited to have you, John. The last time we did a live stream, it was great. So we're kind of back. We're going to do a little bit of updating from that previous live stream. But we're also, more importantly, going to be talking about this new documentary that you have coming out. You've got a trailer for it. We're going to be showing the trailer, going over this investigation of this Area 51 alien interview. Super cool. We're going to watch a little bit of the interview, and I'm excited to dive in on that. We've also got some breaking news in the UFO community that we're going to be going over as well. So I'm stoked, man. All right. Look, as a tradition, John, okay, I do this on every live stream. I don't know if you remember or not, but at the beginning, we're going to shout out where we're from, where we're streaming from, right? And then I'm going to let the live chat throw it in. So without further ado, let's do our vetted tradition here. I'm in Texas. John, where are you at, brother?
I'm in Iron River, Michigan, in the UP, right above Wisconsin.
Hello. There we go, y'all. All right. Let me know in the comments. Where are you watching from? We got Charlotte, South New Jersey, Germany, Scotland. I love it. Wales, Boise, Idaho. We got Michigan in there, my man. Ohio, Sydney, San Diego, Pennsylvania, Midland, Michigan, Omaha, Nebraska, Utah, Plymouth, UK, another UK, Woodstock, Virginia, Berkeley, Ireland, Croatia, Netherlands, holy cow, Lockhart, Texas, fellow Texan, there we go. Puebla, Mexico, Austin, love Austin, Aberystwyth, Wales, oh, I probably didn't say that right, Altoona, PA, oh, I've been there, Altoona, sorry, Atlanta, Wilmington, Italy, Pennsylvania, Alabama, look at this, Washington, D.C., the swamp, coming in from the swamp, I love it, Tampa, San Antonio, holy cow, guys, look at this, more Michigan, Bay City. Is that near you, John? Bay City?
No, that's Lower Michigan. That's on the right side of Lake Michigan. Yeah.
Got it.
We're Upper Michigan.
Okay. Sevilla, España, vámonos. All right.
Hold on.
Yeah, exactly. You got it. This is how you do it, John. You grab the apple.
Take
a bite. Take a bite, and then throw it away.
There we go.
That's the move. That's what I learned. Yeah, I learned that in Spain. Okay, Taiwan, London, Chicago. We get the point here, guys. This is amazing. Again, love the global vetted audience.
Yeah, it's awesome.
All right, it's so awesome. Madrid, there we go. Love it. Yes, welcome from all over the world. Look, let's jump in. Let's give a little recap, John, of the last time you came on the live stream. Why don't you just kind of tell us a little bit, like, if you remember, I got a little clip lined up if you want, whatever you think is best. What do you think? You want to just give us a rundown?
Yeah, to be perfectly clear, now that we are in the kill zone of the documentary coming out and post-production of the documentary, I think it's really very important and crucial that I once again stress to people like your viewers and the skeptics out there, I am not putting out a documentary, and I have never said with the full authority of my knowledge that the 1997 alien interview, that 3-minute film of a very bizarre looking gray alien being is 100% authentic. I have never said that. And my documentary is not about promoting that film. My documentary, and there's one skeptic out there that I'm talking to who doesn't like you, Patrick, and he's starting to not like me. My documentary is showing you the chronology of my investigation to simply try and find the truth. And you will all be pleasantly surprised at the last minute of my documentary. You're going to be like, hey, I like this guy. This guy didn't. I don't throw any. I'm not jamming anything down someone's belief system. Somebody made a comparison to Graham Hancock and some other people and myself that John Stewart is not shoving is not is not trying to force a narrative to us. He is just simply a reporter. He is the investigator coming back to us every week or month and saying, this is what I found. This is what I read. Do your own homework. Here's something that I feel about this information. That is all I've ever done. Now, can you find a clip 4 years ago where I said, I think this is true? I do think that it's authentic. But that's like 75%. And actually finding Victor in March doesn't help me prove that it's actually authentic. I think a lot of people, that says a lot of credibility about me. I would love to say I've proven this. I haven't. Unless you have that alien in formaldehyde or the alien puppet in somebody's uncle's garage, you're never going to prove this is 100%. And we are not doing that in the documentary. I am not promoting a hoax. I am simply showing you my investigation and telling you 1,000% who Victor is. That's it, folks. That's it. I'm not saying it's real, but give me $17. I'm not. I'm saying give me 1788 and listen to my investigation, how the government tried to destroy me, how Hollywood completely was terrified of me, how the media, especially in Chicago, they would cover when I sneezed the wrong way, as my sister once said, completely ignored me and my interaction with the UFO community. This is an incredible story, and we are not saying that the film is real, and I will never say that until I have one of those two metrics: the alien and the dead alien, or the puppet. That's it. I mean, but the investigation is unbelievable, and after 30 years, 1,000%, I found Victor, lock, stock, and barrel, and that's amazing. And I didn't do it by myself. The UFO community helped me, and this is the beauty of my, I will never say I'm the greatest investigator. I had so much help from the guy that lightened Victor's face on the documentary, which led us to the archival photo that found Victor, to the person that found these other facilities, and everyone emailing me, and I mean, it's just been unbelievable. For the advent of YouTube, it's been incredible. And this is my documentary, and I will end here. My documentary has got these huge arms around the whole YouTube, internet, and UFO community, and I am so proud of all of you that have helped me.
Okay, my man, absolutely. All right, I kind of meant the DARPA stuff, but that's fine. That's fine. We went into that. I totally get what you're saying. Who's the skeptic that hates me, John? Who are you talking about? Who hates me?
Truth seeker, Stephen Cambia. He hates both of us now. I don't know if he hates us, but he hates us talking about the alien interview.
That's fine. Look,
he's promoting a hoax. No, I'm not promoting anything. I'm promoting my investigation. Yeah, I mean,
don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, man. Yeah. Look, he does his content. He says what he wants. Freedom of speech. We say, you do your thing. Don't even worry about it, man.
I bought his family dinner one time, so I walk my talk. I'm a good guy. I'm trying to be good.
There you go. Yeah, man. All good. I don't pay attention to that.
Right.
But I was curious. Look, absolutely. Look, even if you were let me stick up for you a little bit, John. Here. Okay. Look, even if you were saying XYZ in your documentary, it doesn't matter. You're allowed to put whatever you want in a film you're producing with your own money and putting out. You can do whatever you want with it, and people can like it or move on, and that's their problem. And I respect you for just doing your thing and saying, this is what I looked into. Here's what I found. whatever. Even if you did make a claim that you thought it was real, I would respect that. That wouldn't bother me either way. So forget guys like that. Let them do whatever you doing your thing, which is what we're here to talk about. Look, let's just jump into that. We'll come back to the DARPA stuff in a second. Let's just, because I love this energy. I feel like I just, when you open a big 2-liter like soda bottle and it just starts squirting everywhere. That's what just happened, John, and I love it. So let's stay with that energy.
Linda Moulton Howe calls me the human fire hose. So.
I love it. I love it, man. So look, no, you're fine. Let's play your trailer, dude. It's really cool about this documentary I have coming out. Let's get people amped up, and then we're gonna dive into all of this. All right, let me bring that up. Love the energy, John. I'm all about it, baby. Okay. Boom. Is that it? Oh yeah, world premiere. Okay. Bam. Okay, y'all. This is gonna be John's trailer. Okay. Look at this. Thanksgiving night. I can't wait, man. I'm gonna be there. I cannot wait to see this. All right, here we go, y'all. World premiere.
In 1996, a man claiming to be a former government employee brought forward this strange and bizarre VHS tape. On this tape, he claimed, was an interview, an interrogation of an alleged extraterrestrial gray alien. This video totally engrossed my life for the past 25 years. And that's why in 2019, I decided to conduct a 5-year comprehensive self-funded investigation to simply find the truth about this bizarre extraterrestrial interview and to hunt down and find the identity of the man who called himself Victor. But what I did not expect was the UFO community to not believe me, the media who ignored me, Hollywood that was terrified of me, and the United States government who did everything they could to destroy me. My name is John Stewart. On Thanksgiving night, I am going to reveal the identity of Victor, and I am going to expose to the entire world what I think is the greatest cover-up and the biggest secret known to mankind.
Dude, come on, y'all. Come on. That was great, John. I genuinely mean that. That is a kick-ass trailer, man. Pardon my French, but that is awesome. I loved it. It's great. Great music, great narration, great explanation of what you're going to bring in the documentary, if that makes sense. So many documentaries are like all over. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know what it's about. It was very direct. This is our mission. This is our goal. This is what to expect. This is when it's coming out. I loved it, dude. It's great. Great job, man. I mean that.
Thank you,
genuinely.
Sir.
Genuinely. That was kick-ass, dude. Yeah. Holy shit. I'm pumped, bro. I'm pumped. That got me pumped. All right. Well, look, let's as you're talking, okay, I'm gonna play you know what? Just real quick before I forget this particular thing. I got to show you this thing that you're going to get a kick out of. Okay, real quick, just to shout out. Look at this, man. John Stewart, alien bounty hunter, baby. Okay, come on. Tell me that's not great, dude.
Oh, my God.
Shout out Todd Harper.
Classic.
Shout out. Isn't that cool, man?
Oh, my God. That's classic.
Last time you were on, I don't know if I said it on the stream or afterwards in the open mic or something. I was just like, dude, John reminds me, like, I could just see he's like bounty hunter, bro. You know, he's like, and here he goes. So he had made this. It's hilarious.
That is so funny. Thank you for that.
Isn't that cool, man?
I appreciate that. That is really
Isn't
cool.
That cool?
I love it.
Come on. It's so good, dude. I love it. I do. Like, you even have like Earth in the background, like you're in a spaceship or something.
Right.
You know,
and like a Captain Spock chair, you know.
Yeah.
or
Dude,
Captain
it's
Kirk,
awesome.
Captain Kirk,
Yeah.
command chair. Yeah, I love it. I
Listen,
love it.
if that was a real show, John, I would watch it. I'm not joking. If you had a
Yeah.
show that was like alien bounty hunter going in and doing these sort
Right.
of investigation, I would
Right.
1000%
Right.
watch that show, man.
Agreed.
You bring a great personality. So, okay, I'm gonna let me put up just in the background, okay, just
Okay.
as we're talking, the alien interview, video itself. And then we can just kind of talk a little bit about, I don't know, however much you want to sort of reveal here, right?
Sure.
Maybe how you started with this. How did you decide that this was the thing, you know what I mean, you were going to
Yeah.
start looking into?
Yeah. Just simply, I could not get myself to stop thinking about this when I saw it in '97 because I didn't see a gray alien. I didn't see an alien with almond eyes. I knew about Hollywood production from being in pro wrestling, doing commercials. I was on the periphery of the director of the Boondock Saints, Troy Duffy. He had that big posse. I was on the periphery of it, so I constantly heard
Oh,
about.
really?
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm in his
I love
music
that
video.
movie.
Yeah,
Really?
and
Oh, I love
yeah,
that movie.
yeah. I got stories about him. But anyways, so I knew a lot about everything to do with Hollywood and the production of things. And when I saw medics come in or doctors in short sleeves and not pressurized suits, and I saw a little stool off to the left instead of that not instead of having a really clean, sanitized production set and two military men who just show their shoulders in the foreground. Whatever you think of this film, ladies and gentlemen, I simply said, this is either the worst production I have ever seen, or this is like you are watching, like John, you're watching a run of the mill. We've been doing this since the 50s interview of an off planet being. And when I asked Senator McCain about the DNI that's on the bottom of the film, and I asked Senator Mark Kirk, who's still my friend, about the DNI, I got very bizarre non-answers. And Patrick, that made me gulp in my butt pucker. I'm like, wait a minute. There's another sexual John Stewart. I can't,
Yeah.
it's every show. And I've had reporters tell me, look, that John, you had a third rail moment, interviewing an assassin for the mafia or a crooked politician, and you get that information and you've just caught them, not caught them, but they know something more than they're telling you. You had that moment. I've had several top flight news investigators tell me that there is something there. Why those two men kind of choked on their words. And it was in 2019 where, yes, I had a little bit of free time one day, and I just got the urge to prove something about this video. Folks, please believe me. I went to find and prove this was a hoax. I never wanted to prove it was real. And I researched the monitor 4 hours in my car again. Thank God for the internet. I got a hold of Space Labs, Hewlett Packard, and 3 PhD fellows who did the history of physiological monitors in 4 hours and found out that experts in the world didn't know what that little bizarre green blip was. And I sat in my car and I'm like, holy shit, what is going on here? Like literally, what is going on here? And I called Jaime Musan, who investigated this in '97. He said, John, I don't know either what this is, but I took it to 13 thoracic heart surgeons, cardiovascular experts, and thoracic surgeons in Mexico in '97. He specifically said 13. And they all said that whatever that is, it's having a cardiac event. And Jaime Musan was like, I don't know what else to tell you. I can't explain this. How could a bad production company develop a monitor that could fool, this is Jaime Musan, that could fool 13 cardiologists and thoracic surgeons that it was having a cardiac event. And Jaime said 6 of the surgeons said, is this have a weird heart? Because it looks like a single ventricle event. And Jaime was just like, what? Sean David Morton, I know he went to jail for tax fraud or whatever. Does that not mean he couldn't investigate this either? I mean, Sean took this to an EMT. Now, who better to look at physiological monitors than an EMT? And the EMT,
real
go ahead.
quick, just for people watching,
Sure.
the green light you're talking about is the one
Yes.
right above the
Yes.
numbers, right?
And we have proven that it is a box. It is a box with molded metal around it, intricate molded metal, not just cladding, but a fin, F-I-N on top, a little bullet cartridge protrusion, like it was molded for that purpose, which made it even more bizarre. And the EMT told Sean David Morton, "Oh, that thing's having a heart attack." And Sean's like, good luck, buddy. Like, I don't know what to tell you. I will get to the end of that monitor where Whitley Schreiber is at a conference and says, I think the alien interview is real. I'm going to tell you why. Do you see that green blip? I saw that green blip hovering over my desk out of the corner of my eye when I wrote the book Communion about being abducted by these gray aliens. I tried to grab it. I tried to put my thumb over it. Folks, listen to me. This is Whitley Schreiber. I tried to grab it, put my thumb over it. It would not go away. I think it was a way that extraterrestrials were trying to communicate with me while I was literally writing Communion. Now, I never told anyone this, ladies and gentlemen. I am telling you now, and this was like 2021. So I'm asking you, how can a production company in 1996 know that gray aliens allegedly communicate with human beings through this bizarre green blip? How could they have possibly have known that to insert that in this film, in this interview? And that, Whitley Schreiber, that's why I think that interview is real. So I am sitting in my car going, oh boy, and again, it piqued my alpha male, my aggressive, I'm an aggressive businessman. I'm an aggressive person. When I get onto something, I want to see it to its logical conclusion. And I'll finish up with, a reporter once said on the Octopus documentary on Netflix, American Conspiracy, The Octopus. Go watch that. Anyways, and she said about someone like me, this is like a board game. And once you're in the game, you're not going to step away from the table until all the pieces, till the game is over, till you have either won or lost. And she's like, this is a psychological, manifestation that people in these investigations have, that they just can't literally mentally and physically walk away until they find and they come to the logical conclusion. And that's what happened to me with this crazy video.
Yeah. All right. I mean, you know how I feel about this video, but
I know
I am interested to see the documentary and everything for sure. I'm going to be there. I want to watch it. I know you put a lot of hard work, and I mean, yeah, I think a lot of people just initially seeing this, it looks fake. It does. It definitely looks fake. But hey,
right,
you're going in and finding all these details and finding more information. And
yeah, exactly.
Right, essentially,
until we show the blue screen, the way the video really came to the production company was lighter. It had a blue hue to it, HUE, for anybody that can't understand me. It didn't look like this, folks. The production company darkened this to make it dramatic. You see the flashlight on the being's whole body or the thorax?
Yeah, sorry.
They didn't attempt to hide that. Yeah. If you see the medic flashing the light for about a second, you'll see it's on its entire thorax. There was no attempt to hide this. The production company darkened the video. And I will simply end with this segment. Again, I am not trying to say real or hoax. I can't find anyone with any concrete proof putting up $5,000 of my own money for anyone with concrete proof that a police or FBI investigator would say, yes, this is a hoax. So you're telling me in 30 years, in $5,000 on the table, not one person in Hollywood is willing to come forward to say, I did the craft catering. I did the uniform, the wardrobe.
Sure.
I was the
Yeah,
one
yeah.
that did the camera work. I was one of the animatronics. 30 years in those city of braggers and backpatters, no one has come forward, and not one skeptic has come forward with, and I am begging them, come forward with any concrete proof that a police officer would say, this is fake. He's got it. He shows me the call sheet, for whatever. So
Yeah.
I don't know what to do at this point, and I still don't know what to do. And you'll see that in the documentary.
Yeah, no, you make great points as far as like following through and trying to figure this out. I mean, I say I think it's fake, but I have no proof. That's just my thought, right? But I have zero proof I can provide. And honestly, at the end of the day, I'm not willing to die on that hill. At the end of the day, because one thing I know, I also don't know what I don't know. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
which is why I love talking about it and that you dug in, right? You have to be the number one person who has looked into this, right? No one has looked into this video more than you, right? I don't think so.
That's why I say in the trailer, comprehensive. There was a guy in England that just examined the skin movement and the film. That's great. But what about the facility? They claim, folks, that it happened. What about the project, the government SAP program, special access program? I investigated that. I tried, and I think I successfully did, the men that were in the room. I successfully had the film analyzed at $2,500 of my own money. I also had intel agents, and I had whistleblowers and other people involved in these projects and projects. I did FOIAs. I got out of my car. I left notes on people's cars. I've flown to New Mexico, Washington, D.C., California. I can't find anyone to help me say it's a fake. And that's all I'm saying is that I think it was Ross Coulthard that made the greatest statement. He said, whatever you feel about it, this is a head scratcher. And that's all I've ever tried to tell everybody. It's going to raise your eyebrow at the end of the documentary and make you go, Jesus, what? Like, what did I just watch? So that's it. It's a head scratcher. We'll never be able to prove it.
One quick question, and then I want to talk about this gentleman on the screen. Have you seen the original video? The one before it got
Tom Coleman won't give me the VHS tape. And I'm not saying that to be detrimental towards him. He won't read. It's in his storage locker. He won't give it to me because if he gives it to me, then I own the footage. Patrick, if I can just take 1 minute, this is going to be a legal argument that they are going to talk about. And I'm not saying I didn't do this. I didn't take the tape. This is going to be this is developing into a very interesting legal argument in law schools around the world of who owns that film? We are taxpayers. So the 16 millimeter film that was shot on, Patrick Armstrong and John Stewart and all of you own that. That facility it was shot in, that's our facility. If it was real. And
I see what you mean.
So Tom Coleman has the claim. Victor owned the VHS tape, right? Tom Coleman has it. That is Tom Coleman's property of the VHS tape. What's on it is the American people's, if it's real, footage. But the tape is Victor because Victor bought that VHS tape. I'm not splitting hairs. This is a really interesting legal argument. Like for anything coming out of these special access programs, who really owns it? Where in the Constitution do you have the legal right to obfuscate the American people and tell us you can't see that document, you can't see that film? I'm sorry, that's our film, our money spent that. So I think this is going to be a really interesting legal argument that's going to be talked about for years to come. I really do.
What reason did Tom Coleman, and I'm going to get to Tom here in a little bit.
Okay,
what reason did Tom give for altering the footage the way he did for his documentary?
Because if you watch the 97, they show 10 seconds of the blue original Victor footage. If you go to the area interview, the 1997 Area 51 alien interview, it's got the first documentary and the second one. you will see towards the end of the original documentary, they show 10 seconds of the blue hue original tape. It looks like crap. It's not good for TV. So, and this is, you see this is like, wow. But what this did was have everyone go, oh, it's a dark room. All you see is the head. It's a puppet. I get that. I'm not an idiot. I feel the same way when I first originally saw it. But when you see that bluish hue that Victor presented, you're being like, oh, wait a minute. I see the Bean's arms. I see his chest. Wait, wait. Victor didn't try and, hide anything other than the voices, which Victor said he eliminated the voices because he didn't want the people talking, the project personnel talking, to be outed by any family members that would see the documentary. And I will finish with this. A man named Nico, a tech guru that lived in Paris, has come forward to say, I befriended an Israeli scientist from America. He showed me a 56-minute VHS tape, and he said, John, it was your alien. And I'm like, you're kidding me. He goes, John, but it was at a different angle, and there was many men in the room. And we have a photo of the aide on the right holding a Sony Walkman video camera hooked up to a VHS camera up opposite of this 16 millimeter government issued camera. And so a guy is claiming that he saw that interview just under an hour, a different angle, and many men in the room, which would back up the top secret document, the transcribed, opinionated document that I was sent by my main whistleblower, which listed all of the military men allegedly in that room watching this interview run by the Department of Naval Intelligence, which doesn't exist. And we will show you 4 different people, military people, that say it does exist. It's bizarre.
So let me just, if as an audience member here, I'm listening to this.
Yeah.
Let me just make sure that I heard this correctly, right? So that
Sure.
you're saying that there's an other angle to this alien interview that you heard about or acquired or have seen?
Okay. The person in England, which is I'm not going to say anything negative. The person in England that looked at the film said to me and sent me the photo, there is the military guy whose shoulder you see on the right side in the foreground is holding something in his hand. He got the screenshot. It's a Sony video Walkman, which gets hooked up to a VHS camera. And I'm like,
Hang
that
on,
is incredible.
let me
Go ahead.
Where no, I just want to
You're
bring
not
up the
gonna see 'em.
visual while you're it's not in any
Well,
of this that
yes, it is. And one part when the medics walk in, you'll see the military man's outline on the right, pick up a phone to talk to somebody when the medics come in the room. Now you're in the second documentary. Go back.
Got it.
Go back to the medics in the room. You'll see the outline of 2 men. I've shown what the man, the African American general on the left, who he is. He was the general head of Signal Corps communication. They're at an alien interview. Hello.
All right. Which part?
Okay.
Near the...
Go back a little bit. When the bean starts coughing, you're going to see the guy on the right. Okay. Stop right there. Or stop right there and play it. You're going to see a shadow on the right. He turns to the left and picks up a phone. You'll see him.
I saw something
okay, go a little bit back more. It was when the bean started to cough. We'll get to it. Don't worry, folks. Have patience. Yeah. There we go. Okay. Look at the right of the foreground. There is a guy on the right. There he is. Do you see him?
Yeah.
You see his okay. Okay. Yeah. That man, we have a photo holding a Sony video Walkman. Remember, this film allegedly was 1991. The Walkman came out in 1990 because I had to research that. This is how detailed we got. So I said to myself, well, there is a VHS tape of this floating around. I never told anyone. And out of the blue, when someone saw me on podcast, his name is Nico, he came forward to say, I was shown by an Israeli scientist from America a VHS tape of your gray alien. He goes, but it was at a different angle. And he goes, John, there was many men in the room. And I said, you have no idea what you're telling me because you are backing up. You are backing up the document that I was shown,
Sure.
which said there was.
Have you seen
which
this? Have you seen this video yourself?
No, of course no. God, wouldn't that be the Holy Grail? That would be the Holy Grail. No,
Absolutely.
I have not.
Absolutely. Is it?
I'm
But
just
it's out
saying,
there
it's
somewhere.
out there,
Maybe.
and no one ever. This guy in England and we never told anyone that there could be a VHS camera in that filming room, interview suite. We told no one. So just
Sure.
like Whitley Strieber, how did this tech guru know to tell me? And then on the DIE report, it said the filming was just under an hour. He tells me that it was 56 minutes, and he is not the leaker because I know who the leaker who sent me this. It's not him at all. So how, unless it's a grand conspiracy over 30 years involving senior citizens, I mean,
What do you think? Is he going to be in your documentary? The guy you're talking
oh hell
about?
yes,
Who is,
Nico.
so
Yes,
so Nico will be in the documentary stating that he has
absolutely,
seen another angle of this alien interview
with
video
multiple men in the room.
with multiple men in the room.
Now you
Okay.
tell me, folks, what would you do if you were Jon Stewart?
Interesting.
how
And
are
Nico,
these
that's his
people-
real name. Like he's coming forward with his real
Yeah,
name and his
he
real.
went on Cosmic Road. He's been on Cosmic Road a couple of times.
What's Nico's background?
A tech. He's like a tech guy.
From Israel?
No, he originally born in Senegal. Lived in Paris with his mom and dad. I think he's in his late 30s. He now lives in British Columbia. Real neat guy. Super neat.
And how
Gentleman.
did he see this exactly?
He saw me on the podcast, on a podcast. And when he saw that alien, he told Jack Connors and he said, when I saw your alien being shown, he goes, John, I had to shake my head and look twice. And he said, that's the alien I saw in the living room of this Israeli scientist. I said, how long was the tape? Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. No. Well, I was gonna say what he was in some Israeli scientist's living room, and the Israeli scientist showed this angle to this Nico
because
guy.
of the contract work he did in the what would you call that, computer field and stuff. He befriended a scientist. John.
Red flags for me. Big red flags. I'm just saying.
Well, he's a tech guy. He starts companies. He sells them. Yeah, this guy's a sharp dude. And he said when he was doing contract work, because he's got a Lockheed story, but he said he befriended this American-born scientist who was living in Israel. And they became friends over the course of months and months. And he said when he was in his living room, he said, I have something very interesting, because Nico started to tell him, one day I would like to start to investigate what this alien phenomenon is. And do you know anything about it? Because the guy must have told him that he did work. He was a scientist for the government. And one day the scientist felt comfortable enough to pull out a VHS tape, and he showed Nico. And this tech guy said that it was just under 56 minutes. It was a different angle, and there was many men in the room. And I just did how did he know that there was a VHS? We told no one. I'm not saying it proves the video. I'm just saying, do your viewers understand the conundrum that I have been in for 5 years? I'm just every rock is somebody saying, no, I think it's real. I'm befuddled. I don't know.
Let me just ask a few questions about this.
Ahead.
Okay. Is the Israeli scientist going to be named, or are you going to interview him?
No.
Have you heard the name privately?
He will not tell me the name.
So
he will not, just like I won't tell you I'm never going to tell you my chairman.
I'm saying, did he tell you privately?
No, he did not, sir. No, he did not.
Okay. So he's keeping that to his chest.
But he was an American, Israeli-born American, hired by the American government. He was living in Israel at the time, and that's when he saw the tape. He moved back to Brooklyn and died, sometime in the past. So I did get a little, paper trail of who this guy was.
But you haven't actually been able to verify that this human being exists.
No, but
Because it's just from Nico.
Absolutely. I simply ask, how did this guy, with 2 people in the world who
Know
knew
those other details. No, I get you. I get
that
you.
a
You made
VHS
that point for
camera
sure.
was in that room?
Sure.
I just can't. I'm not saying it's real. I'm not saying he's
Yeah,
telling
yeah.
the truth. I just don't know how.
I understand.
Yeah.
I understand. Yeah, you
Okay.
made that point.
Okay.
I totally get it. And I would also
It's
be
bizarre.
curious about that. I agree. But definitely for me, but I mean, again, I'm not doing all the investigation you're doing.
Right.
I'm an audience member right now, John, right? I'm only
Sure.
hearing
I
this
understand.
stuff here. No, look, I appreciate all this work, dude. Really, like, you have no idea. For us to be able to have this conversation, I appreciate you coming on, talking.
Yeah,
I love that
you're
you
welcome.
allow me to kind of ask questions and push back a little bit.
Well, that's my
and it's
credibility.
yeah,
Folks,
man.
I run to this. I have had
Well,
special
this
effects
has
people.
nothing
Can
to
I
do
just
with
say
your
this?
credibility. Oh
No,
yeah, of
no.
course.
Okay, that was a bad word. I just want people to know I am trying to prove it's fake for 5 years. Folks, I have had special effects people write me back going, "You do know that I believe that film is fake. Why do you want to speak to me?" I'm like, "Well, I just want the truth. And I can't speak intelligently to my audience if I don't hear why you think that it's fake." So I have run towards the skeptics.
Yeah,
I
that's a
just
good
want
point.
people to know that. That's it.
I agree. You've always come on. You never
Yeah.
tell me, hey, don't ask me this. Don't
Nothing's
say,
off
you never
limits.
say
Yeah.
that. Yeah, you
Thank
never
you.
say that. We
Thank
go right into the live streams, right? Like,
Right.
I got mad respect, John. Like,
Thank you.
there's zero question there.
Yeah.
And again, you're doing the work, right? Like, I'm just sitting behind a mic here asking questions. So at the end of the day, you're out here doing the work. All right, let's get to this boogeyman that we keep bringing up. And let me bring him up again here. This is the guy, because that's the name of the documentary,
Tim.
right? Hunting Victor here, right?
Right.
And this is the guy, Victor, right? So
Yes, sir.
the story is, you can correct anything that I say wrong here, John. The story is that this gentleman, don't know his real name, but he went by Victor in this documentary that he came out, and he's the one that initially brought out this alien interview to the public, sold it to this production company, and they played it in this documentary. And he also does an interview in this documentary, but of course they cover him up, put him in shadow, change his voice, right? He's a mysterious figure who has never been publicly named or figured out, essentially. And that's, this is the search right here. This guy, who is this guy?
Yeah.
And, the story behind it, right, of this guy. But he is the one who brought out this video, right?
That's correct.
Now, real quick,
but I've proven that's a lie too. Well, I not proven it,
go
but
ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
That I think Victor claims he was says, quote, the active agent who secretly filmed this during a lowering of security where Area 51 or S4, Papoose Lake, went from analog to digital. And he saw an opportunity and he made this 3-minute clip. I think I have proven that is a lie. And he lied to protect everyone in this cabal that was trying to get material out of S4 to tell the world that the extraterrestrial program is real. What we believe is the United States Air Force cameraman, according to your government, a United States Air Force cameraman made a 3-minute copy, put it in a burn bag and in a GSA approved vault. And then 3 days later, that was put into a gym bag and taken off of Area 51. The hero is a U.S. Air Force cameraman that we have no idea who he is. But I'm hoping this documentary says, wait a minute, wasn't Earl, a cameraman at Area 51 in the early 90s? I'm hoping it metastasizes and people at least give me some names. But that's the real hero. And that cameraman took this to a former State Department employee. This is the mastermind. This is the guy in front of the fireplace at a castle in Germany. His name was Joseph Yeager. He worked for the State Department and at the time worked for the DIA. He was disgruntled, just like so many other people in this program, which we have been told by multiple people. And he was the one that went to Victor and said, "We got 3 minutes. You need to sell it." Because we have proven how Victor knew how to contact Fox. He first contacted Fox. So Victor was basically the door-to-door salesman of this film, but he was in the program. According to him, he was in this program of reverse engineering biological and metallic metal material. He was in the program, but he was the door-to-door salesman, and you're going to blow your mind. Again, don't know about the film, but 1,000,000% we found Victor. It's going to blow your mind, and everyone's going to do because how does somebody know how to have a pitch meeting with Fox? You need to know the vernacular, the language, who to call, what to say to the blocker. We know the guy that Victor contacted at Fox. His name was Mike Darnell. He was part of unscripted television. They threw him out of Fox. He walked across the street to a newsstand at Cayuga Boulevard. He picked up Variety magazine. He saw this ridiculous Chevy Chase VHS tape that was being for sale by Rocket Pictures. He said, maybe this low-level production company will put my video on. He called them. They brought him into the office, came in by cab, and a month later they started filming the alien interview. And that's how this film came to fruition. And then Victor comes on Art Bell, an hour and a half, coast to coast, unrehearsed questions. And then he comes back in 2008 and says to the UFO community, "You pieces of essay crap. Nobody's proved it's fake. Nobody has proved who I am. All you ufologists do is go on the internet and talk. Nobody's done any FOIAs. You are worthless." Even the people, he says, even the people that believe the film is real, they're taking it at face value, and that does nothing for me. Go out and prove it. Prove it's a puppet. Find the puppet. Find the puppeteer. Find me a better alien in 1996. Prove who I am. And he was adamant and just with vitriol against the UFO community. And then he talked about Dick Cheney and Donald Rumsfeld knowing all there is to know about the UFO program. So that's just how this film came to Rocket Picture.
All right, I have a question. Going back to how this video got out. So the video clearly is of a longer process, right? And
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So they only smuggled out a few minutes of it.
May I go what your government said in an investigative report? Are you ready? When the beam was then stabilized, they continued the interview. When the interview concluded, a United States Air Force police officer drove and escorted the U.S. Air Force cameraman and the canister of film back to the Groom Lake photo lab. Didn't say Area 51 because that's regular people vernacular. Took the film canister back to the Groom Lake photo lab. 3 days later, the report says, the internal report of what happened, how this got out. 3 days later, the United States Air Force cameraman made 2 copies. One he cataloged and another he made. That's the 3-minute film. He put into a burn bag into a GSA approved vault. I don't even know what that means. The GSA is like the Government Services Administration. They cook food, they clean, they do laundry, they clean the grounds of Air Force facilities. Who the frick would know this? And then that burn bag was shoved under a gym bag and taken out of Area 51, brought to Las Vegas. Joseph Yeager gets the 3-minute film, calls Victor and says, boom. They wait 5 years for everyone to retire. So the pensions are kicking in. They wait 5 years and Victor comes forward with the film.
Why that 3 minutes?
Victor says in the documentary, and I can't prove this, I'm just telling you what Victor said, there was no particular reason why I copied this 3 minutes. So I can't tell you that, and I hope you can appreciate my honesty. I have no idea. It certainly is interesting with doctors and coughing and foam coming out of its mouth. It's very theatrical. Correct. I agree.
Correct. It just so happens that in that 3 minutes, a bazillion things happen.
Right. Again, I agree.
It's
but Patrick, you know production. Again, and I totally agree with what you're saying. But you leave a chair you bought at Kmart in the production next to the table. Mean, I don't know. It's just so bad of a film, folks. You heard me what I said. It is so badly produced that it makes me think: is this just like, us filming a commercial at the car dealership? I mean, it's just horrible. If it's
Sure.
fake, horrible.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Let me bring up this real quick. Oh gosh. Where is it? Boom. Boom. Okay, yeah, right here. Okay. Okay. Is this real quick before I move to the? I don't want to change. Is this the original video, right? That you're talking
No, if
about?
you want to go towards the end where of the first, yep, well, where they're talking to special effects people, you'll see Jim Delatoso in a studio. Keep going,
Oh,
keep going, keep going. You'll see Jim Delatoso maybe. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Okay, go back. Sorry, I'm sorry, folks.
no,
You
it's
think I
okay.
would know? You think I would know? You'll see guys in a film studio. Okay, a little bit more, a little bit more. Nope. No, go back a little bit more.
Oh, back.
You'll
Okay.
yeah, go back. You'll see Jim
That's Robert
Delatoso.
Dean.
Yep, in a film studio. Whoa, we're getting close.
Okay.
Okay, I think you might have. Keep going back. That's David Adar. Oh, there he is. Okay, there it is. He will show the
Got
blue
it.
version. You're gonna have to maybe go back a couple of seconds, but that on that computer is the blue version, and just play it forward, and you'll see. That's not it.
Specific condition.
That's not the original. You'll see the
Here,
blue
let me
version.
just.
He is telling everyone it was filmed on 16 millimeter, which was very hard to come by in 1991. Only the
Is that it? Right?
government in. Nope, that's not. That's still not. That's a great copy. Just press play. You'll see the blue version. Let it roll. Let it roll. You'll see it. It should see it. We got the 10 seconds from it.
This is
Let
the
it
guy
go.
that looked into the video.
That's one of them who
One of them.
said,
Yeah. Yeah.
this is 16 millimeter. He's like, I he said with the gain turned up if it was a VHS tape. So, we've kind of looked into, like, nobody was using 16 millimeter back then. Who was using 16 millimeter in 91?
Oh,
The United States
well,
government.
I don't
So,
know. I guess it's not there. I'm not sure
well,
where
you saw
I
it a
might
little
have.
bit. Okay, whatever.
I don't
Go
know.
back.
Either
There it is.
way,
There it is. You got it. There it is. Right there.
where?
Keep going. Keep going. A little bit more. There it is. A little bit of it. Yeah.
This?
Yeah. Keep going. I'm sorry.
I mean, I
We
don't
missed
know.
it. It was
That's
by
all
where
he's
Tom
looking at.
Coleman was talking. Yeah. It was weird. You could just tell it was a grainy, VHS tape. It was bizarre, but it was not darkened
Hmm.
by Victor, folks. I have to
Hmm.
emphasize that. The production company did it for dramatic value.
Okay.
And Tom
And who?
Delatoso says it looks like 16 millimeter copied onto VHS. How did he know
Who
16?
is this guy?
Tom Coleman is the owner of Rocket Pictures.
Right there. It says President Rock. Okay, this
Yeah,
is my theory, y'all.
and I've been
Can I just throw out
communicating
my
with him for
theory?
4 years. Yes.
I think he is Victor. I think if you pay attention to how he, just particularly in this documentary, look at his shirt, his jacket, his neck, everything about it, and then watch Victor. It's identical. Everything
He's
like
got the same
matches
body
him
structure. Yes.
perfectly.
Well, let me tell you who we
Perfectly.
thought Victors were, or we researched. We thought Victor was, or we researched Bob Dean, Whitley
Yeah.
Strieber, the director, Jeff Broadstreet, Victor Marchetti, because Marchetti had the same black, white, and gray tweed jacket in the second documentary. We thought that Victor, this is interesting, folks, which leads it to what might be a hoax. Do you know that the person that wrote the script for Aliens wrote the script for this documentary? And his name was Dan O'Bannon. And he looks a lot like Victor. We thought Victor was George Knapp. If you look at a
Oh, wow.
1980s George
That's
Knapp,
interesting.
I was like, holy shit. We thought it was Whitley Strieber because the voice was similar, and
Let me
Whitley had
find.
his book coming out at the time, and maybe wanted to promote gray aliens. We have researched everyone. 6 people, 6 candidates. We have researched that aren't Victor. I did my homework.
Yeah,
Excuse me. I did my homework.
right here.
But
This guy.
man,
I think it
was
is. I
George
think it is
Knapp
Tom Coleman.
was
I
George
think
Knapp
he
a
did it
good
for his own
match?
documentary. George Knapp is interesting, but I think Tom Coleman did it for his own
Okay,
documentary
I, I
and
respect
put it
that.
together.
It's not true, but
I
I
have no
respect that.
proof. I have zero proof. But I will absolutely be watching John's investigation because his will have way more data and behind it than my theory.
Yep.
That is for sure. But look, it's a fascinating story, man.
We at least
That this
found Victor,
guy,
Patrick. Can I interrupt you?
that's pretty
We
cool. That's
found
pretty
Victor.
cool.
This is going to be a great. This is going to be a great continuing investigation. We now found the guy who brought forward the film. Let the internet world have at it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Let the internet world have at it and get into it more and see what they can come up with. I think it's going to be a great start, a great fire starter.
Agreed. Um, Agreed, man. Absolutely. Um, how confident are you, like on a percentage scale, that you're certain who you found is Victor?
150,000%.
Oh,
A
shit.
police officer from a Chicago suburb. Well, Jack Connors from Cosmic Row was laughing. He's like, it's like you took Victor and took the other guy, and the police officer from a Chicago suburb saw the Victor picture from the documentary sitting in the chair, and the Victor that I found, and he looked at me, and goes, "Is this a joke?" And I'm like, "What? What? You don't agree?" He's like, "It's like it's like this is a joke. People are gonna laugh at you." Like, well, of course this is Victor. It's that it's that spot on. Everything.
Okay.
We also have 21 points of interest, like a suspect trail of why he is also Victor. Again, no one
I
could
like
figure
it.
out how he knew how to go to Fox. No one can figure out all of these other little things. And when you see all of the bio of our Victor, your audience is going to go, "Oh my God, of course." It's not just a
Um,
photo.
sure. So do you get an interview with Victor, and is he still alive?
He's
I
still
guess.
alive and he is a hostile witness. That is my other thing. Patrick, I'm talking to you as a friend. We're having a beer. Why would you not come? I offered him $25,000. Why would you not come forward, take 25 grand? He's elderly, and say it was a hoax. Why are you saying it's not you? Well, he even said, he goes, it's my doppelganger. I'll admit. I mean, why are you not? What are you afraid of? This gets creepier by the day. I thought this guy was going to grab the money and be like, "Yeah, it's a fake. We did it in a studio in Burbank, and you got my money. You got my money," and won't take the money. Admits that it's an identical. Admits all to 21. I said, "Did you?" And you, yeah, yes, and yes, okay, and won't take the money and is now a hostile witness. Why? What are you protecting? What people have told me is he's protecting. He doesn't want to go to jail because Joseph
Yeah.
Yeager's dead. And the UF Air Force cameraman, I don't know his name, so I can't look up if he was ever prosecuted. But people in the government said they. I was told by an agent from the National Air and Space Intelligence Center at Wright-Patterson. He said, "John, this film in the Pentagon is blackballed. You have to listen to me. What I mean by blackballed is no one will touch it. No one, generals, majors, will touch it, will talk about it, anything." I said, "Why?" He said, "If they prosecuted that U.S. Air Force cameraman for stealing that film, if it was real, if this was a real event, then they'd have to go into discovery in a court martial. And why are you prosecuting a man who stole the fake film?" The only other thing I can tell people is, and I think it's much more bizarre and pisses me off even more that the government filmed this for a psyop. And I question, I've got people starving in Detroit. I've got little kids that don't have daycare in Chicago. Why are you spending our tax money faking alien interview films in your what's called their magic program, psyop? Why are you doing that? Because that's more disturbing to me than an off-planet being crashed and you're interviewing in some dark room and jerking yourself off that it's, oh, we're getting all this information. The fact that it could be a psyop, and I lean to 10% that it could be, is way more disturbing to me. And Dr. Stephen Greer feels that that film could be a government psyop. But I say nobody was ever prosecuted, because why are you prosecuting somebody for a fake video? And if it's real, then you're going to have to go into discovery in a court of law and say, well, he stole what? $3 worth of VHS tape? What did he steal? Really? Well, he stole classified information. So you're saying the alien is real? Because what else is classified on that film? I'm just saying. I'm telling you, the legal arguments about this are gonna really start a snowball effect. I hope.
Yeah. Well, look, the link in the description to John's website, his Twitter, or not the website, sorry, the YouTube channel, his Twitter, and the trailer for the documentary. So please stay tuned.
And we're
going
to put out how to buy it on pay-per-view in the coming weeks. So just bear with me.
Perfect. And that's coming Thanksgiving. So it's just around the corner, y'all, not too far off. Look forward to that. John, I do want to move on to a few other topics that I want to get into. So look, I'm going to play a video for like 3 minutes from our last live stream. So if you need a quick bathroom break or something, take it now. I'm going to take one while I play this video to kind of give everyone a refresher of something we talked about on our last live stream about this DARPA scientist and this potential planetary invasion. I want to get into that a little bit, and should be interesting. So I'll play this, and then that way we can take a little break here and catch everyone up. Let me throw this up. Boom. Okay, just a few minutes here. Something you put out about this DARPA scientist, sort of. I'm going to throw it to you here so you can break it down for us. But basically, this DARPA scientist coming out and I don't know, not necessarily predicting, but saying that there's some sort of planetary invasion by aliens. Am I reading into this right?
Yeah, basically, yes. There's no way to sugarcoat what she wrote on 3 different occasions. So, yeah, planetary invasion was her language.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm going to bring up those screenshots here in just a moment.
Yeah.
But how did you, this person is a DARPA scientist. How did you meet her? Like, how did she contact you?
Yeah, well, just like the Lockheed story, I give my email. I've done like 40 podcasts in 4 years. I give my email, and just like the Lockheed and a lot of other really interesting people, I got an email from her about a year ago. And it just said, I caught your podcast and really interesting. And I just wanted to show you my essay on the extraterrestrial phenomenon. I am a scientist with a master's degree. I thought she had PhD, master's degree in electrical engineering. I have been for 20 plus years working with various scientific departments and agencies that also did work in conjunction and association with DARPA. And I can tell you, it's a really scary agency. And that kind of caught my eye. She sent me a studio portrait from her job of her, and she's retired, a baby boomer, just a nice lady. You know, I kind of equivocate her to the telepath's wife, the alleged S4 telepath's wife. Salt of the earth. If you were on Martha's Vineyard, you'd see this woman coming back from the farmer's market with her cut flowers and a fresh loaf of sourdough bread, and her son hat on. Just right, you know what I'm saying? Like a regular woman in her 60s, high class, classy, educated,
Sure.
And so when this BBS facility, which probably we'll get to right after this, Linda Moulton House Psalm Recovery Manual for Extraterrestrials that was written, we think, in the 50s and 60s. The one thing for 10 years no one can figure out is the facility where they took living extraterrestrials, called OPNAC BBS-1. Okay, so it reconstituted in my brain. So I decided, I'm like, look, this woman has scientific background. She's been with a bunch of agencies. Maybe she knows about BBS-1. She didn't, which I love, because you love whistleblowers, Patrick. You love people that could.
I want to buy your house. I can pay you cash for your house, no matter what condition it's in.
Be, hoaxers. When they tell you no, or I don't know, to me at 57, that rings a bell of, okay.
Well, looks like, oh, he's back. He's back.
Okay.
Okay.
When they don't give you the answer, they tell you, I don't know. That to me rings true.
No. Okay, real quick. Let me just recap.
Sure.
So make sure everyone understands
Yes.
this. So this DARPA scientist reaches out to you about some other things, right? She's just telling you things, and you decide to ask her a separate question about something else you're looking into.
Right.
Right.
A year later.
Okay.
Right. A year later, I
Got it.
recontact her and said, hey, I give her name as Jill. Could you help me with this? And the whole UFO community.
Let's start with just the DARPA part first, and then go into the the response. You emailing her the second time. So let's focus on this right here, which is her first messages to you, right? Yeah. This is it. Something I took from your.
This is the first message when I recontacted her.
Oh, got it.
Yes, which was about a week ago. Yes, sorry.
Got it. Okay, so this is her reaching back out, responding to you.
That is correct, sir. Yes.
Okay.
Sir.
So she says, "Hi, John. You're welcome to make any use of my material you like. The reason I prefer for now to keep my name confidential is for family reasons and to stay under the radar in general." Okay, I totally get that. So look, I think the real one is this message right here, right? So this is what she left at the end of. Is this her original message, or is this the message in the reply you got?
In the second reply, when I contacted her about the facility, this was her, I believe this was her first reply message to me. That was the end.
What was the first message she sent to you? Like, what did she say the first time?
I told you that 3 minutes ago. It was, "Hi, John.
Oh, sorry.
I caught you on the blah, blah, blah podcast. I don't remember what it was. I really enjoyed what you had to say. You asked the people to contact you. They had anything relevant with your investigation. Here's what I've done. Here's what I know. I'd like to send you my essay," which I personally did on the entire phenomenon. And that was it.
Got it.
Sent me a studio picture of herself, her work history. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. I misunderstood.
No problem.
Okay. There's a lot of threads here we're pulling on.
I know.
And you're living it. So I'm the audience right here. Right. So, okay. So, because I also don't kind of know what's going on, which is good. I'm going to figure it out here with you, which is great. So this is in her reply to you, and this is, I think, what caught the eye of a lot of people, right?
Oh, and me,
and you, of course, right? Anybody that would read this, right? So it says you should look into DARPA. They're the top of the research food chain. Working with them was scary. I'll tell you about it sometime. But what they do goes way beyond deterring the Russians or the Chinese. Of course, they can't come right out and say their ultimate purpose is to repel a planetary invasion that is currently in progress. That's too serious of an issue to raise until have some sort of solution to offer. And when that time comes, it will obviously have to be carefully controlled. All right. So look, I'll put a link in the description. Everyone can go check out that full live stream that John and I did. It's phenomenal, as always. But there is an update on this, John. After this video premiered, this person emailed me and you, and I won't say who else, but and wanted to make some corrections on this. And I, just in all fairness, I think it's important that we sort of lay out those corrections. So I'll hand it to you, man.
Yeah. First of all, it's not a she, it's a male, and Patrick can back me up. The name could be either a female or male. And the studio photo that was sent, and me with my ADD and hyperactivity, was an older person with long gray hair. And I just was scrolling past it and just assumed female. So he is a male. He is retired, master's in electrical engineering. He's got some sort of system that he patented, I think that's what he said, on the space shuttle, and he's not backing down at the fact that they're coming. As scary as
What
that
they're
sounds.
saying.
Yeah,
They also
I
said,
don't.
I'm not gonna put up the message that was sent, but they said that they had sent an essay to all of us and myself included, which I don't know if I got it. I'm not sure. I get a lot of messages and emails like yourself.
Sure.
I hadn't seen it. They had expressed concerns that they didn't work at DARPA very long. They only worked at the very tail end of their career at DARPA, and they really wanted, the essay shown, which I'm not going to show. And if another channel wants to, that's fine. But I'm not here to show that. But I don't know. I just wanted to make those corrections.
Thank you.
And that's all. She backed it up or whatever. A lot of the stuff that whatever was said, but if it's true
And
or
I
not
never
is
read the
another
essay
story.
in the
But
original email. Like I told you
yeah,
with the Lockheed guy, you take the email, you scan over it, you put it in
sure,
the, you put it in your inbox, and you just kind of,
yeah,
okay, maybe I'll come back to that. Yeah.
sure. And just to clarify, this person stated they are not a female. They are a male. Yeah, it's a he. And John's saying he got a picture, just looked at it quickly, looked like a female, moved on.
Well,
But
it
it
was
was
an old
actually a
person
male.
with long gray hair. I have attention deficit disorder. I know that's hard to believe. And so I get 20, 30 emails a day. So I am just spastically scrolling. There's the studio picture, old person with long gray hair. The first name, I almost said it, is a female name. I just thought it was a female. That's all.
Sure.
Sorry about
And
that.
John is correct. It is a name that you could take either way.
It's not Tabitha.
Yeah, it's not, yeah, correct. It's not Susan or
Yeah.
something like that, right? Like for sure. And it wasn't a male dominated name either, right? Like
Correct.
it was a name that you do. So whatever. But just wanted to clear that up. That person did send that email, and I thought it was fair to this person. It also goes to show that John is not making up these emails, which I have accused John of before. And I have apologized for that sense, but this is actually a great example of, John, you're clearly not writing these emails to yourself, because this person emailed to correct and everything, which I think is a silver lining there, honestly, for you. But look, it is an interesting story. Are there any other updates on this story that you know about?
Yeah, I don't know if people have seen on the internet. Now other people are coming out about they're coming. Something's coming.
I just did a big live stream yesterday.
It's amazing. It's like,
I don't believe it, man. If I'm being honest, I don't believe it.
I don't either. I don't know if I do either. Big invade. They're coming back to get the equipment and the bodies and
yeah. I think they would just come here and get it. Like they can move at speed. Anyway, whatever.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Interesting. But we did do a big live stream on that. You are correct. That is coming up a lot. You are correct. And we did this live stream at the beginning of August. So you and I were talking about this before it was, what the conversation is now. So I recommend people go check out the video I did yesterday with Pavel, Clint from Night Shift, and Simon Holland. And the live stream I did with John. Again, the link's in the description. Go check out that last live stream I did with John. And speaking of, real quick, John, I do want to give a quick update since I'm talking about the video yesterday. We did a video yesterday about James Webb, potential new discovery, and some other things. Well, there is an update on that. Okay. Askapol, which is a run by Matt Laszlo, or one of the main reporters, Matt Laszlo, investigative reporter there in Washington, D.C., who goes and talks to politicians and talks about a lot of things, but mainly does focus a lot on UAP questions, right? UFO questions and what's happening with things. And he gets a lot of exclusives, such as this is a twofer I'm going to talk about here. So one, he got the exclusive yesterday. It was announced that Nancy Mace is going to be heading up a new UAP hearing. It's dated for November 13th. And remember, Rear Admiral Tim Gallaudet is going to be testifying at this, but that has been confirmed, that date. And Askapol underneath had a particular comment, which I found interesting, because Pavel, who was on the show yesterday, I guess had reached out to Matt and asked him to ask these some of these politicians, these Congress people, about this James Webb discovery. and apparently they gave some answers to it, and he will be, revealing that soon. So that'll be interesting to hear. Now, he did say they're non-answers, but that in and of itself sometimes can be an answer, right? How people deflect, or right. I'm sure you've learned that too, John, right? Sometimes non-answer or the deflection is already a clue. So that'll be interesting to learn about. And maybe it's connected to what this person who has emailed us about. I don't know. That would be interesting. But those two updates for everybody. And look, the last thing real quick, John, that I know you wanted to get into was Lockheed, the Lockheed Martin JSOC firefight situation. Is that what it is all connected to, or what?
Well,
I'll let
just
you
the
take
fact,
it.
just the fact that when I came forward, we had our Lockheed discussion, our 2 videos,
Yeah.
that what the Lockheed whistleblower told me was the breakthrough that Lockheed was able to create, allegedly, an identical alien reproduction vehicle was them figuring out of using the human brain connected to the machine, called psionics, which I never heard. That is just coming out on the internet now. Stories are breaking about psionics, spelled Psionics, where
Yeah.
the human or the alien and the craft are one. They're symbiotic. Very interesting. And that story is now breaking again now. What just broke yesterday was that David Fravor, the fighter pilot of the famous TikTok video, is now saying publicly that the CIA told him that the Tic Tac video craft seen in that video, the Tic Tac craft seen in that fighter pilot plane FLIR, forward infrared looking radar, was made by Lockheed. I mean, this is just getting crazy upon crazy upon, and David Fravor, would you call him a useful idiot? I don't know why. I've been told that
No
there
way.
is no way. I have been told that there is a conflict between Lockheed and Congress. They want the technology back, Congress. Lockheed is saying, we invented it. You're not getting it back. I kind of agree with Lockheed. And so is this some sort of which people believe my emails were, for me to be a useful idiot to discredit Lockheed or Congress or whatever, so this is getting really interesting, folks. And I'm not, I find it funny that 2 of my emails are now reconstituting in the public forum and sector, and just pay attention. It's going to get really interesting.
Okay. Bam. All right. Yeah. No, I've heard about the psionics, and you know, I don't honestly, I don't
It's
really want to get
crazy.
into that. It's going to put me in a bad mood if I get into that. To be honest with you, because
it's crazy.
I look, I'm open minded. I love talk about that stuff, but that stuff really, I don't buy any of that personally.
I'm researching how a company like Lockheed can fly a alien reproduction vehicle in U.S. airspace. And I've gotten some really interesting things from pilots in air traffic control of the vernacular, the report, the flight, um, the flight following report you would file if you were Lockheed to fly a weird object. You would classify it as experimental, just like somebody putting together their own Cessna in their garage. That happens, and it shows up on the radar as experimental. November Delta 225. So
Sure.
it's been interesting what I've been able to find out and how they can fly around, and our government stepping into FAA to say there's going to be something happening, but people tell me Lockheed's in battling with the government. And again, folks, pay attention. Don't listen to me. Pay attention. It's going to get interesting.
I do want to say though that David Fravor saying that he was told by the CIA that it's our own advanced tech or from Lockheed. Is interesting. Did he say that himself, or where did you hear that?
It just broke. It was on the internet, somebody
grabbed the
Like-
story. I think Ashton Forbes grabbed the MH370 guy, grabbed the
Yeah.
story and put it out there again. And I went to the story. I should have remembered where it was from, but it was a news story on the internet.
Okay.
Fighter pilot Dave Fravor of the Tic Tac video is now saying the CIA told him that was Lockheed technology. Craft.
Okay, that might be a Jeremy Corbell clip from Weaponized, maybe.
But Jeremy doesn't believe David Fravor, so that makes it interesting. It's not like Jeremy getting attention. Jeremy, I think in the article is saying, "Oh, Fravor's full of crap, and it's a real UFO." And so again, when you have people,
I don't think he would say that.
This is not.
I don't think Jeremy would say. No, but I don't think Jeremy would say David Fravor's full of crap, man.
No, I'm sorry. That's my vernacular. I apologize. But Jeremy is saying in the article, if I read it correctly, that he feels it's not Lockheed, it's a real non-human intelligence craft. So again, more competing theories on it. Again, pay attention, folks. It's going to get interesting.
So I think maybe the details are that David Fravor is saying the CIA told him, but he's not necessarily confirming if he believes what the CIA is telling. He's just saying, "This is what I was told."
This is what I was told. Yes.
And I believe, I believe correctly. If someone can tell me in the chat here that was a Jeremy Corbell clip from Weaponized, maybe somebody can confirm that in the chat for me. That's what I saw.
I just read that Jeremy didn't believe, let's say, the CIA. You're right, but not so much,
absolutely.
Not so much David Fravor. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. No, David Fravor's Tom Cruise,
and
man.
Kudos,
he is Top Gun.
Sorry to talk over you. I'm sorry. Kudos for David Fravor for coming out and admitting that. I mean, that guy's the bomb, man. God, I would have never opened my mouth up about that again. So God bless him. You know what I mean?
That's either way, it's interesting, right?
Interesting.
If that craft that David Fravor and the rest of the squad and a whole fleet encountered, it wasn't non-human, but a craft that was reverse engineered from non-human is still
right.
All of that's interesting, or just an advanced. I mean, there's a whole story there that they would interfere with, right? This. I mean, there's just so many red flags there, no matter what that truth is, which is very interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's why I said keep your eyes open, folks.
Of course. Absolutely.
Crazy.
Look, let's go to some questions in the chat, y'all. Put any questions that you have for John, all caps in the chat. I'll bring them up for John so he can ask them. John, I got a couple of softballs here. And you'll get what I mean here. This says, "Dude, you rock. I love the vid you guys had on yesterday. Go Mariners. You into baseball? What are your favorite teams?" My other is the San Diego Padres. What do you think, John? You into baseball?
I have PTSD because I've been a lifelong Cubs fan. I mean, in the 70s, they were 14 games out of first in July.
Yeah.
And you're home. And I was a popular kid, athletic kid, tons of friends. But from noon to 3 o'clock, I was watching the Cubs game in my living room with my mom shaking her head like, is my son nuts? There are 14 games. They can't win. There's 2,800 people at the ballpark. Harry Carey, the announcer, is drunk by the 5th inning. This is true story. I mean, So Chicago Cubs, lifelong Cubbies, North Sider. Yeah.
Dude, Will Ferrell's impression of Harry Carey is the best. You know, he's like, it's so good. Yeah, hey everybody.
He would, folks.
It's so
if no one knows what we're talking about, he used to be with St. Louis Cardinals. Then he came up to Chicago. Beloved Chicago figure. Would be drunk by the 5th. Not drunk, but he would be lit by the 5th inning. And the games were so boring that he started spelling players' names backwards and pronouncing them. I mean, you would get your friends around because he was hysterical. You don't know what this guy would say. It was crazy. The late 70s, early 80s Chicago Cubs. They ought to make a movie.
Carey, baby.
It was crazy.
Oh,
crazy.
You're right. They should make a movie on that guy.
Yeah.
You're 100% right.
Yep.
All right. So here's another one from Legend. He says, "Okay, no baseball. No, we got to it. What about football? Love the new Seahawks, but I lived in San Diego a few years. Okay, so I really like the Chargers. What do you think, John? I mean, the Bears?
Packers fan. I had ADD as a kid. I always liked yellow.
My dad bought me a Packer. I picked out a Packers helmet, one of those play helmets to wear around.
Yeah.
Everyone had Chicago Bears. Yeah. So my mom was a Green Bay Packers fan. So yeah, we're Packers fans. But I love the
I
Bears.
love that.
I love the
I
Bears.
love that. This says UAPDA did not pass. Reaction. What do you mean? The UAPDA did not pass. Am I
Might have
missing
got
something in the
squashed today.
chat?
Who knows? I don't know. I don't know what that means.
I don't know the full story here. I tell you what, give me 2 seconds.
They might have killed it. I know. You're all shocked. The government obfuscating you.
Yeah, it says it failed
Misdirecting you.
again.
I
Now
know it's
what?
shocking.
But I don't know. I don't know why it failed, I guess is the bigger question. Okay, it says right here, breaking the UAP disclosure. You know what? Let me bring this up on the screen. Oh, let me close my private chat
crazy.
on there. Breaking news, y'all. Breaking news with John and Patrick here. Let's bring that up, John, and we'll both learn about this here, man.
Yeah, love to hear it.
Let's see. Let me bring this up right here. Okay. From my Twitter, right here, UAP Disclosure Fund. It says breaking the UAP Disclosure Act was not included in the Senate's manager's package of amendments for the 2025 National Defense Authorization Act. It is unlikely that there is another path for the UAPDA to proceed this year. Our work towards UAP disclosure will continue. There are many paths to the truth, and our movement is only growing. Wow. Okay, that is interesting. For sure. What do you think, John? What are your initial thoughts? Did you support the UAP?
It's just of course, I'm not shocked. It's if your viewers are not understanding the hypocrisy that we live in, that is our money. Those are our Congress people. Those are our representatives. We live in a free, open democracy. Can I see what's behind that door? Oh God, no. The Russians might get it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It makes me sick. It makes me sick to my stomach. And I feel bad for, us as Americans. It's disgusting. Because
Sure.
if a president of the United States of America, duly elected, can't walk up to any government-owned facility in our country and knock on the door, we have a fundamental problem.
I'm going to need to look into more information on like why it passed or why it didn't to kind of give a full, I think, opinion on this. But I think my initial reaction is very similar to John here. But I don't know all the details. Maybe there is a path forward for something later on. I don't think so, but who knows? Last year, a version of it did get written in.
Right.
This year, clearly not looking good, but who knows? Maybe something will come out in the next few days. There is something that could happen. Maybe the hearing that happens with Arrow at the end of this month, plus the new UAP hearing that happens in November. Maybe something, right, gets moved. Maybe it gets changed. Maybe this is right. In this hearing that's coming up, let's bring everybody, right? Let's make a show where they're like, wait, we didn't pass this legislation.
You just need to write in eminent domain, which means the government can go into any contractor in America or anywhere, any U.S. registered contractor, and look at and obtain their material. Simple. And the fact that it's not happening should tell your audience volumes. Period. End of story. Because if you don't think Lockheed and Boeing and Northrop Grumman and Raytheon aren't lining the campaign coffers of congressmen that killed that amendment and killed that legislation, you're a fool. I guarantee you who voted against it, go see their campaign accounts, their PAC money, which they have to disclose where they got from who, and it'll read like a list of contractors, military contractors. It's sad. It's pathetic, and it's un-American.
Huh? JP Cole says the people want big D disclosure. We want to know that we're not alone, people.
That's right. That's it. I don't want to know the tech.
Oy vey.
I don't want it. We don't want to know. We don't want to put out things that make us vulnerable to China and Russia. But tell us we're not alone. Tell us you covered it up because you were afraid of the Russians, big bad 1970s, 80s, Ruskies, the red commies, and we'll all go on with life and go watch, Wheel of Fortune. Nobody gives a shit anymore. But we give a shit about being mocked and our citizenship belittled by men and women who think they know more than us and they know better than us. You don't. Trust me. I'm John Stewart, and I approve this message.
This is Heiser. He says, isn't there some weird 3-year law on these things? I feel like next year they're forced to either oblige it or have a final vote. I don't know enough about to comment.
There's some kind of parliamentary procedure that is true. Once it's brought to the floor, it dies in 3 years. I think I've heard something like that. Yes, that's
okay.
Quite possibly true.
Oh, right on. All right, put your questions in here, guys. I'm sorry. I think I probably miss let me see here, John. Sorry. I should
Sure, no problem.
Not good with this here. I see a lot of comments. Andy says all about the money. Yes.
Of course it is. It always is.
It always is. Exactly.
Always.
All right, guys. Any questions for John, or am I missing them? Y'all, is that what's happening? Okay, let's do this. Here we go. Todd says, thank you, Todd, for a good question. Here we go. Where does this David Fravor statement come from? How recent? News source, etc. Todd, I think it's Jeremy Corbell saying that he heard that from David Fravor. Potentially. Yeah, I'm looking for someone to confirm that in the chat for me. I think it's, if you go to Ashton Ford's Twitter feed.
Like Twitter.
Yeah, Ashton Ford's Twitter feed. There may be a video of Jeremy Corbell. I think that's it. Again, not from David Fravor's mouth, but I mean, I believe Jeremy Corbell, if he said that, that David Fravor had, would have said that.
Right. Yeah. Jeremy said it.
Yeah,
yes,
for sure.
Yep.
All right, okay, here we go. Patrick, did you get to check out the story I posted about Einstein and Paul Santorini, the ghost missiles case? No, I have not. I will get to it. Just got a lot on the plate, my man. A lot on the plate. That's all it is. I've got a bazillion stories. In fact, my video tomorrow is going to break the UFO community in half.
Wow.
You guys have no idea. I'm saying it here first.
Cool.
I won't reveal who or what, but an interview I did with somebody, and I promise you it is 2 hours of absolute bonkers, dude. John, wait till you see it's bonkers.
Oh, I cannot wait to see it.
Exclusive stuff, only unvetted, coming tomorrow. It's gonna be crazy. Yes. Okay, here we go. Oh man, God, I'm so bad about this. I see I need someone else doing this chat here.
We need like 1970s mall music playing while you're looking at the chat room.
Yeah.
Background music.
You're right. You know what? You're not wrong, man. I could add that. Not the second, but for my next
Look
one.
up YouTube.
Yeah.
Mall
you're right.
music with a Z.
Yeah.
It's all you feel like you're shopping in the 70s.
Yeah. No, I know exactly the music you're talking about. Hold music, elevator music. It's all,
That's
that kind
elevator
of music. This says, Jesse says, any hints on who Victor is? Just a little one. Jesse wants some hints, John. Don't please. If you don't, you don't have to.
He is a former government employee for a couple of the government agencies. Couple of people who will probably have heard, like, he's not that obscure that old-time government person would not know him, if I can be obscure. And I'm simply saying, ladies and gentlemen, if you weren't around in the 80s and 90s, everyone said, find out who Victor is. That proves the video. If he's an actor living in Santa Monica, game over, hoax. If he has any relationship to the government, what the hell are we looking at? I'm just telling you what every UFO person told me in the 90s. So he was employed by two government agencies. I have verified that. So it gets a little creepy. I simply ask, why is a former government employee doing with a very, very sophisticated hoax of an alien interview? Why? How? I don't know. Well, I mean, I can guess, but that's something for you to ask. This was not an actor who lived in Santa Monica. And that makes me raise my eyebrow. And should you, too.
Ebony McKickass, love this name, by the way. Thank you for being a member, Ebony. Love your name. Patrick, if you still have the Area 51 interview up, can you play from timestamp 41? This is what John was trying to show us all. Okay, very cool. Thank you. So I have it here, John. I'm just going to play, I think, about the original video. I think this is what I was trying to find earlier. She's saying, is this it?
That's it.
Got it. Yep. Good job, Ebony.
Look at that mouth opening instantly. No protrusions of remote controlled cables, brackets. One of the special effects, folks, I am just telling you what was said. You see the left general right there on the left, shadow?
Yeah.
A special effects person in that documentary goes, it looks like it could be fake, but there's some movements. I can't explain how they did it.
Wait,
Now,
John.
hang on. Dealer. I'm an automobile
I think I found
dealer.
something.
What?
I think I saw something. Maybe I'm an idiot here.
The deflated arm?
No. The square light right there. You see the square
Those are
light?
monitors. Those are monitors behind the viewing glass. Those are monitors installed behind the alien interview. It's called the interview suite, allegedly. And they are reflecting in the glass. That's what the FX people said.
Okay.
So why are you putting monitors in this fake production?
Well, hang on. Let me just.
Back? I mean, it's like, why? Why
let
spend
me just
the money?
say. Let me just say what I think real quick. What I think it is.
Go ahead, tell me.
And then you can. So
go ahead.
The way he kind of moves in front, it looks like it's the viewfinder to another camera.
It may be.
That's what it looks like, man. It looks like a camera,
well, that may be showing where
that guy is the camera operator, and he's stepping in front.
Well, the aid might be the screen of the Sony handheld camcorder, the handhold portion of it, and then the cord
I think
goes
they
to
did
the
have a close up. I think they had a close up on his face and everything, and that's what that is. It's a camera close up on his face.
Okay.
And that other guy is like, camera operator or whoever it was.
Patrick, can I say something else?
I don't know.
I am the only person that has ever brought out the photo. The right arm of the alien, you see it right there, goes flat like a pancake. I'm like, I got it. It's a hoax. It's a puppet. The arm's flat like Kermit. I've done it. Okay, you ready, folks? Again, trying to prove it's fake. I take it to 3 special effects guys. They go bonkers, Patrick. We would never do that. I would never have an inflatable puppet. There are no inflatable puppets. That's ridiculous. We would never do something that ridiculous. I'm like, so what are you saying? They're like, well, a special effects person wouldn't have done that. I'm like, well, you're telling me then it's real. Well, you'd be an idiot as a special effects person to have inflatable arms. Then a guy emails me a day later. You need to talk to my cousin. He's a heptologist, expert in reptiles. I ask him, is there anything in science where reptiles make their skin or their bodies go flat? Boom, right away. Oh, absolutely. It is very common in the reptilian morphology or reptilian biology when they are under stress, when they feel threatened, some reptiles can flatten their bodies like a pancake. So I'm like, wait, I just proved that it was fake, and now these people are telling me that, because we hear grays have some sort of reptilian type skin, or Patrick, I'm as confused as your viewers. I'm just telling you that I thought I found something that could be proven fake. And again, skeptics and scientists are telling me, no, reptiles can go flat as a pancake when they're stressed and when they feel danger. It's just been crazy. So I tried to prove it was a
Sure.
hoax, folks. I tried to prove it was a hoax. Nobody is helping me with any proof that it is. That's all I can tell you. I'm sorry. I know it's creepy, but we may be seeing something that might be real. Can't tell you that for sure, but I tried.
Yeah, it does. The way he moves in front of it makes me think that those square lights are in the same room, not reflections off the glass, but they are interesting, almost like there's
Yeah,
like two cameras up
right.
there. But again, I don't know, I don't know. Anyway, just something interesting to get into. People, again, links are in the description. Go check it out. Don't forget, John's got his documentary coming on Thanksgiving. It's going to be kick-ass. I cannot wait to see everything. You've got a huge tease today, folks. And John's been very gracious to come and talk about it and go over all this stuff. So I definitely appreciate that. All right, I'm trying to get another question for you, John. This person says, I like bonkers. This guy keeps putting a question over and over again. He says, John believes Joseph Yeager is Victor, but I believe William Moore, we disagreed on email, has looked into William Moore since. I don't know what that means, John.
Yeah, Joseph Yeager, according to your government, ladies and gentlemen, was the mastermind of the entire theft. How to steal it, obtaining it once it left Area 51. This small cabal would meet of disgruntled S4 Papoose Lake employees would meet in Las Vegas. Once Joseph Yeager got the 3-minute film, he then gave it to Victor, and they waited 5 years and then brought it forward. And Joseph Yeager died in 2010. He lived in Oceanside, California, and he was a former State Department employee in the late 50s, and then worked for the DIA. And we've heard in multiple sources that the DIA is the department that took over the alien program, however you want to classify it, from the Air Force. When the Air Force in the early 60s said, we've had it, we're done, we don't want this anymore. And the DIA said, we'll take it, and they took it. And they built that facility in Papoose Lake, whether it's got aliens or whether it's got dead dogs. I have the FOIA for that facility being built, and it was for the American Pathology Institute. So they're studying some sort of biology in tissue or whatever there. And I've proven the facilities there with FOIAs, with witness statements, and satellite photos. I think I've proven tangentially Project Aquarius with multiple sources. I've proven that this is on 16 millimeter film, that the only people that used 16 millimeter film in 91 were weirdo documentary people, and they only had very quick clips of it, or the government still using it in 1991. I've had people come forward. I've seen the document of the alleged investigation of the theft, which they called an unauthorized viewing. I could never make up that vernacular. The government, the DIA report called this an unauthorized viewing, meaning the public saw something they weren't supposed to. And I have the name of the people that brought this out. I have the paper trail of the film from Fox to Rocket to the UPN network, and I have Victor's name in bio, and he's not an actor. You will have to do the rest.
Vincent Gustini, tell John his favorite VFX
that's my
person.
special effects guy. That's one of my special effects guy who's become my friend.
Well, there you go. Vincent is here. Vincent says hello.
I love Vince. Vinny, how are you, buddy?
Awesome.
Patrick, Vince, Italian, John Stewart, Italian, and another podcaster, Italian. When we were on a podcast together, the hands are going. We're all yelling over each other. I mean, it was.
Forget about it.
Oh my God!
Forget about it. I love it.
Oh my God!
Awesome.
Vince is the Vinny. I love you, buddy. And there's the guy that says he thinks it's fake. I love the guy though. Great guy.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
He's the best. He is the best.
Random Thew, please clarify the proof about the African American general in the video.
Yes. So
this will be our last question here, guys.
Okay. Great question. Listen to this. Again, what would you do if you were Jon Stewart? We screenshot when the medic shines the flashlight into the viewing gallery. We get the grab. It is clearly an African American person with a General Class A Army General green sport jacket with the 4-star epaulets with glasses. He does not have Colin Powell's hooded upper lip. His lip is turned up, and he is clearly African American. 5 years, everyone thought it was Colin Powell. We do an artist rendition. You'll be shown this on the documentary. We get what this general basically looks like with the turned up upper lip. We find out that there's only 4 African American generals in 1991. And this general, who's perfectly matched to the artist rendition, was head of Signal Corps. And what does Signal Corps do? It's in charge of communications. What were they doing? Communicating with an alien. Would you have somebody in charge of communications maybe being down there in an interview communicating with an alien? The guy wasn't in charge of supply. He wasn't in charge of logistics or artillery. He was the head general of the Signal Corps down in an interview room where we're communicating with an alien being, and his picture matches identical. And it's not Colin Powell. This man has an upturned lip of a black person. Colin Powell has got a Jamaican. He's not African American. He's got a Jamaican face with a hooded lip. It's not Colin Powell. It is an Army general in charge of Signal Corps in 1991. Why? How could you? Why would you? I don't know. You tell me how this hoax has been perpetrated for 30 years. But I got him, and I named him, and I identified him. And that's a great question.
And so you're going to show all of that in the documentary,
yes.
right? The stuff
yes.
that you're talking about. Okay, great.
And when I found out, there was only 4 African American generals, 4 stars or 3 or 4 in the Army in 91. And this photo matched the one, it was like I was in 3rd grade, matched the Colin Powell was out. The other guy was out. And when we matched it to this guy, and I asked my investigator, Chris Jackson, what does he do? He said Signal Corps. I'm like, Signal Corps? He's like, yeah, that's communications. I mean, we had to change our underwear. I mean, I'm like, what? He's head of communications. He's allegedly in a room with an alien that we're communicating with. I give up.
Well, here's
Great
the
hoax.
video, guy. Here's the
hoax.
video. Here's the video, guys, that John is going to be, done his investigation on. Again, links in the description to the trailer so you know what's coming up. I want to thank John for coming on and talking about all of this. This was awesome. Links in the description to connect with John online on his Twitter or through his YouTube. Please do that. And definitely look forward to John coming back on again. I want to thank all the moderators for all the great work they did in the chat today. Couldn't have done it without them. So thank you to the moderators. Guys, as soon as this live stream is over, I am going to be going over to our Discord for our weekly Friday after party where I will be in the open mic. You can jump in, join the Discord, jump on a mic and talk directly to me here as soon as this live stream is done. So thank you guys so much for watching and for tuning in. As always, thank you, vetters from across the globe. And yeah, thank you, John, for coming on, man. This was awesome. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me on. You're doing great work. To all your viewers, sincerely, vetters, enjoy the remnants of our summer and some of the beautiful weather out there. Keep your eyes open. I'm telling you, I'm an insider as far as, in the loop. Keep your eyes open. Question everything. Question me. Question everyone that comes forward, every news article, every statement from the government. We're all going to get through this. And God bless you, Patrick, your family, your viewers, and we will see you. We will see you soon. And thank you for having me on.
Absolutely. Likewise, John. All right, betters. Remember, every day's a gift, y'all. Peace.